Overjoyed and fallen to his knees. That was Sean Combs' reaction to the verdict.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell.
The maximum possible sentence is 10 years per count, so a total of 20 if the judge were to say that the sentences would be served consecutively.
Rumors have it that Mila has some shocking secrets about Ashton, secrets that go all the way back to some big names, including Diddy.
Ashton has been using his celebrity platform to advocate for but now you're telling me that his wife just moved out because of things that are about to unfold with the Diddy case.
From private celebrity parties to secret deals, Ashton's past might not be as clean as it looks. Some sources say he's even warned Mila to keep quiet, or things could get ugly.
Ashton Kutcher taking the stand, testifying against a man accused of being a Hollywood serial.
And so he might be next after Diddy. Is this just another Hollywood rumor, or could a long-buried scandal finally be clawing its way to the surface? And what role does Diddy play in this unfolding drama? Let's get into it. The courtroom went quiet when the verdict was read, but outside, on social media, in the music world, and even in prison, the reaction was loud. After a messy and emotional trial, Sean Diddy Combs was found guilty of charges related to taking people across state lines for peace-stitution. He was cleared of the more serious racketeering and ST charges for now, but the damage is already done. The judge denied him bail, making it clear that Diddy will stay in jail until his final sentence is decided. Prosecutors are said to be pushing for up to 20 years behind bars.
Despite being spared life in jail, the hip-hop mogul could still spend up to 20 years behind bars.
And while many thought Diddy would walk, as he always has, the tone shifted drastically. After months of courtroom drama, surprising stories, and non-stop headlines, the verdict is finally here.
Overjoyed and fallen to his knees. That was Sean Combs' reaction to the verdict.
After weeks of shocking testimony and intense courtroom drama, Diddy has been found guilty of transporting women for peace-stitution and was denied bail. Even though he avoided the STF-ficking and racketeering charges on a technicality, his image has been completely destroyed by this trial.
I said Mr. Combs was going to get arrested and indicted, and I was correct. When he did get arrested and indicted, I said that he would not ever receive bond, and he did not. And I'm here to tell you today he will be convicted on a RICO charge.
But behind the headlines, something darker seems to be happening. Even though the jury cleared him of racketeering and TF-icking, reports say the jurors were deeply split, with some refusing to back down on the most serious charges. That kind of disagreement suggests there might be more to the story than what we've seen.
Criminal enterprise. And whilst they proved that he did abuse women, he did have a drug addiction.
Also, the reaction when Diddy heard his verdict was quite unexpected. Following his bail hearing, Diddy faced his family and told them, "We're gonna make it through this. I'll see you when I get out," he added. Combs blew kisses to the two rows in the courtroom, filled with his family and friends. "I love you all," he said. "Be strong." Just before being let out of the courtroom and back into detention, he said, "I love you, Mom." People suggested it was directed towards something darker. Like some people suggested that he might be celebrating that now his associates will be caught as well. Lately, Diddy's been catching a lot of heat from the public, the media, and the law. But now, Ashton Kutcher's name is being pulled into the mess too. The two have history that goes all the way back to the early 2000s, when they were both deep into MTV projects. Kutcher was blowing up with Punk'd, and around that time, Diddy gave him a call. Not long after, the two were suddenly training and running the New York City Marathon together.
And he came over and I was like, "I'm going for a run." He's like, "Oh, I'll go for a run with you."
Since then, Ashton and Combs have stayed tight. But now, things are getting messy, and Kutcher's getting dragged into the spotlight thanks to some old remarks making a comeback. During an interview on Hot Ones, Ashton got grilled about his friendship with Combs and the wild parties Diddy was known for. At the time, his response didn't raise many eyebrows. But with the heat on Combs now, people are revisiting those comments. Kutcher dodged the question in a way that felt off, like there was more he wasn't saying. He even hinted at it, saying, "I've got a lot I can't tell," followed by a pause. Then he added, "I can't tell that one either," leaving everyone wondering what exactly he was holding back. Back then, it just looked like two friends joking around. But now that federal agents have raided Diddy's place in a human trafficking case, people are looking at Ashton's old comments differently. Some are wondering, did he see something shady and ignore it? This isn't the first time Ashton's been called out. Just last year, he and Mila Kunis got major backlash for writing letters supporting their That 70s Show co-star Danny Masterson, who's now in prison for raping two women. And now, things are heating up again. Chrissy Carnell Bixler, Masterson's ex and one of his victims, is finally speaking out. And what she's saying is pretty shocking.
When two women say he r***ed them in his Hollywood Hills home. Now Masterson may not be a free man until he's in his 70s.
Chrissy Bixler bravely came forward as one of Danny Masterson's victims in November 2017. In 2019, she, along with actress Bobette Reales and two anonymous women, filed a lawsuit against Masterson and the Church of Scientology. Recently, she posted a series of interviews with Ashton Kutcher in which he disclosed a disturbing bet made by Masterson, offering Kutcher $10 to French kiss a then 14-year-old Mila Kunis when Kutcher was 19.
She was with Danny through a lot of the 70s show stuff, so she knows these two.
When the first episode of that 70s show hit the air, Ashton Kutcher was 20, playing opposite Mila Kunis as his on-screen love interest. Flash forward to a 2002 clip from the Rosie O'Donnell show where Ashton and Mila were interviewed together. Ashton admitted to Rosie that they were told there'd be a lot of kissing scenes, and he joked about being a little freaked out over whether it was even legal, since Mila was way younger at the time.
She was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are going to be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal, right?
The actress then disclosed that Masterson made a bet with Kutcher, offering him $10 if he French kissed her during their first kiss on the set, which also happened to be Mila Kunis' first kiss in real life. Kunis said, "It was like the first week. I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life." The same video has also circulated on the social media platform X, where one person wrote, "Mila Kunis, I was a 14-year-old little girl, Ashton Kutcher, and Danny Masterson betting $10 for a grown man to stick his tongue in a child's mouth knowing it was first kiss, and she had to do it for the show. Literally so disgusting." Bixler also shared a statement on Instagram regarding the news of Masterson being sentenced to 30 years to life for 2 counts of R. She wrote, "I'm still processing everything that happened. I will say that last night I had my first solid and peaceful night's sleep in years. I just want to thank the following people for their tireless fight in helping us get justice." Bixler went on to name the Honorable Judge Olmedo, DDA Reinhold Muller, DDA Ariel Anson, George Gascon, and the Lada's office, Detective Javier Vargas, Victims Advocate Rosario Mariscal, our angel and fierce protector Leah Rimini, Rindermike, Asmith Levin, Yasha Raleigh, Lisa Bartley from ABC7 LA, my incredible husband Cedric Bixler Zavala, and for my sister survivors Jen, Nisha, Bobette, Trisha, Kathleen, and to the rest of his survivors known and unknown. I hope you're all experiencing justice, and I pray deep healing for us all. She concluded her post by saying, "Danny Masterson will never harm another woman for as long as he shall live. To all the victims of Scientology, we aren't finished yet." She also reacted to the viral videos of Ashton Kutcher. And now, former That 70s Show heartthrob Ashton Kutcher is currently finding himself in the midst of a resurgence, but not the type he might have expected. The actor is now facing significant online backlash as clips from his past resurface following his support for his sitcom co-star Danny Masterson.
It was like war games, you know?
But nobody was going to take your pictures, so you could really wow out, and nobody would know what you did last night.
I have more photos of Commando Kutcher.
Chrissy then used her Instagram story to post old videos of Ashton Kutcher from the early 2000s. These clips showcased instances where Kutcher made inappropriate comments, with a particular focus on underage actress Hilary Duff and his now wife Mila Kunis.
She also has an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen, and she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18.
In a video from a 2003 episode of Punk'd, Kutcher made a comment about singer and actress Hilary Duff, who was only 15 at the time. Further complicating matters, Bixler shared an old clip from the same Rosie O'Donnell show appearance in which Kunis recounted an uncomfortable incident. Kutcher had apparently made a side bet with Masterson about French kissing her when she was only 14, underscoring an alarming disregard for boundaries and consent, even if it was meant as a mere joke at the time. Another rediscovered clip featured a teenage Mila Kunis seated on Ashton Kutcher's lap in a promotional video for That 70s Show. In this clip, Kutcher made inappropriate comments while laughing and engaging in physical interactions with Kunis, who appeared visibly uncomfortable. The clips shared by Bixler have brought attention to these past incidents, with the intention of holding Kutcher accountable for his comments and behavior, especially in the context of his support for Danny Masterson. Bixler has even drawn parallels between Kutcher's behavior and that of Masterson, who was convicted convicted of the controversy surrounding Kutcher and Kunis reached its climax when they wrote supportive letters for Masterson before his sentencing. In these letters, they praised Masterson's character and conveyed their belief that he did not pose an ongoing threat to society. These statements ignited widespread public outrage as they appeared to downplay the severity of Masterson's crimes and undermine the voices of the victims. Kunis, who is now married to Kutcher, emphasized Masterson's role as a husband and father to his daughter, portraying it as truly exceptional. She also credited Masterson for his unwavering commitment to discouraging substance use. She wrote in her letter, "Throughout our time together, Danny has proven to be an amazing friend, confident, and, above all, an outstanding older brother figure to me. His caring nature and ability to offer guidance have been instrumental in my growth both personally and professionally. Witnessing his interactions with his daughter has been heartwarming and enlightening." She further added, "He prioritizes his family, education, and happiness above all else, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to being a loving and responsible parent. As a father, he leads by example, instilling in her values that reflect integrity, compassion, and respect for others." Kunis also wrote about Danny's influence over her. She wrote, "His influence on me in this regard has been invaluable. In an industry where the pressures and temptations of substance use can be overwhelming, Danny played a pivotal role in guiding me away from such destructive paths." Kutcher expressed similar sentiments in his letter to the court, describing Masterson as an excellent role model and a dedicated and loyal husband. In contrast to the depiction of Masterson as a predator by his victims, Kutcher recounted an incident where Masterson bravely came to the defense of a vulnerable woman. He wrote in the letter, "While I'm aware that the judgment has been cast as guilty on 2 counts of R by force, and the victims have a great desire for justice, I hope that my testament to his character is taken into consideration in sentencing. I do not believe he is an ongoing harm to society, and having his daughter raised without a present father would be a tertiary injustice in and of itself." These letters were made public a day after Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Charlene Olmedo issued a sentence for Masterson. Unless successfully appealed, this sentence essentially means that the actor won't be eligible for parole until he reaches senior citizen status.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
However, the response to Kutcher and Kunis was immediate and harsh, with many accusing them of prioritizing their friendship with Masterson over supporting SA survivors. In response to the backlash, the couple posted a video on social media where they issued an apology. In the video, they emphasized their support for victims and expressed regret if their letters were misinterpreted or caused further harm to survivors. One person wrote, "They are both gross. They aren't sorry. They are pissed off that the letters went public. I know a dude, known him for 25 years, who got coked up and murdered his GF. If his family asked me to write a character letter, the nicest thing I could do would be to say, 'No, I won't be doing that, thanks.' They were under no obligations to write any letter. They did it because they wanted to." Another person added, "An important piece is that they didn't know that the letters would be instantly public. A stipulation for them to write the letters was that they would be sealed. It was recommended, but the judge ignored it, so the letters were open to the public immediately." The controversy around Ashton Kutcher is still sparking a lot of talk, especially when it comes to holding celebrities accountable for their past actions. It's a reminder that what you say and do, especially in the public eye, can have serious consequences. And more than ever, there's a growing expectation to support survivors of SA. Kutcher has long been seen as someone who shines a light on shady behavior in Hollywood. But now, one of his own statements is under the microscope, and it's stirring up a wave of online debate.
Ashton Kutcher calls him kind, courteous, and hardworking. He has always treated people with decency, equality, and generosity. The letters did not sway the judge.
The letter didn't just miss the mark with the judges. It also didn't strike a chord with the public either. Now, there's a wave of new speculation that Ashton might be hiding his real role as a gatekeeper for the Hollywood elites. Sharon Osbourne weighed in on this during an interview, saying,
"Make me feel bad.
Okay.
Oh, name the rudest celebrity you've ever met."
Oh, this is perfect for you, Sharon.
The guy that's married to an actress, and he used to do that 70s show.
Ashton Kutcher?
Yes.
Really?
Ashton Kutcher. Oh, rude little boy.
This statement really resonates with how the public views Ashton, especially since he's shown support for several heavily accused celebrities in Hollywood. It definitely paints him as a gatekeeper of sorts, adding fuel to the speculation about his true role in the industry.
Obviously, I believe that it is my effort to defend their right to pursue happiness and to ensure a society and government that defends it as well.
You might be wondering why, if Ashton is really playing the role of a gatekeeper, he also engages in positive actions that make him look like a responsible family man. Well, there's a lot more to uncover, and this video will dive into those details. So let's get into it. Recently, the online buzz has been wild as people have stumbled upon shocking revelations about what's really happening in the Hollywood scene. From secret gatherings to hidden illegal activities, sources are saying that Hollywood is no longer a safe place to work. In light of these allegations, Ashton Kutcher has also weighed in, sharing his thoughts on the situation and issuing a direct warning to the Hollywood elites involved in these shady dealings.
That's a breeding ground for trafficking. I promise you that's a breeding ground for trafficking. But the reason I looked at foster care is that it's a microcosm.
This acts as a serious warning to the big shots in Hollywood who've managed to dodge accountability so far. There's a strong belief that these powerful moguls have turned Hollywood into a space filled with blatant yet widely recognized secrets, where dark activities are hidden in plain sight. Despite the glitzy image of Hollywood, efforts to tackle these issues have often been met with silence and fear.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see.
When Ashton openly supported Danny Masterson, it drew significant attention and raised questions among the public and media alike. And if we compare the situation with Diddy's, it sounds very similar. And once again, Ashton is supposed to be friends with the wrong person. Lately, though, he's been in serious trouble. He was hit with criminal charges in the US, along with several civil lawsuits. Diddy said he was innocent, claimed all his relationships were consensual, and denied doing anything wrong. His trial started in May and just ended this week. The jury found him guilty on 2 counts of transporting someone for peace destitution. However, he was found not guilty of the more serious charges, like ST and being part of a criminal conspiracy.
Sean Combs will now face sentencing in October. He will, however, return to his jail cell where he has been in since last September after the judge denied his request for bail.
Now, Diddy's waiting to be sentenced. Each of the 2 charges could land him up to 10 years in prison. On top of that, he's still facing several civil lawsuits, most of which came after his arrest in September 2024. After hearing the verdict, Diddy dropped to his knees in court and hugged one of his lawyers, looking like he felt some relief. Let's not kid ourselves. Diddy might be behind bars, but his influence didn't vanish the moment those cell doors closed. He spent the last 30 years building an empire, not just in music, but in fashion, liquor, media, and even politics. That kind of power doesn't just disappear. Word is, some of his people, employees, partners, and longtime beneficiaries, are still out here working behind the scenes, trying to protect the legacy and silence anything that threatens it. But now that he's no longer walking free, the questions are getting louder. What does Diddy really know? Who else was involved? And who helped him keep it all buried for this long? Because here's the industry's worst-kept secret. Diddy wasn't doing this alone. Those wild freak-off parties, the private jets, the mansion events with strict no phones, no cameras rules, those weren't solo missions. They were full productions, with assistants, executives, bodyguards, maybe even other artists playing their part. And now that the walls are closing in, people are scared. Scared that Diddy, facing real time, not house arrest, not fines, but decades behind bars, might finally start naming names. And if he does, the fallout could be nuclear. Since Diddy's conviction, the celebrity world has gone eerily quiet. Some insiders say that's no coincidence. Many stars are either nervous or guilty by association. Diddy was once one of the most connected men in the game. If he falls, others fall with him. A few cryptic responses have emerged. 50 Cent offered an immediate response to the outcome of Diddy federal trial moments after the verdict was made public. Transportation for peace destitution carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison, meaning the Combs faces no longer than 20 years behind bars if given the maximum amount of time. 50 Cent, who has been a longtime critic of Combs, has since wasted no time in reacting to the verdict, taking to social media to refer to the producer as a bad man. And here's the real bombshell. If Diddy flips, even just a little, he could take down dozens of high-profile names with him. Law enforcement has already teased ongoing investigations tied to people in Diddy's inner circle. That means if he decides to talk in exchange for a lighter sentence, the dominoes could start falling fast. Producers, agents, label heads, fellow artists, maybe even some of your childhood idols. If this thing unravels, Hollywood won't know what hit it. Diddy might be locked up, but the echoes of his empire are louder than ever. He's not just doing time, he's stepping into a war zone, a war where silence is deadly, and speaking up, even deadlier. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.